I had a friend once who was having a bit of trouble in his relationship. And I went to see, well, they both went to see a marriage counsellor. And the marriage counsellor said something quite interesting to him. They both had a very elaborate way of arranging their relationship. He would have one night out, she would have a night out, have a night in together, a night in by themselves, a night out together or whatever. And the counsellor said, well, there are three entities here. There's you, there's her, and there's the relationship. And it was very hard work. Why couldn't they just get on with each other? Why did they have to make such elaborate plans? It's because they had this idea, this belief in a relationship. They probably didn't have any idea that they could just relax, be themselves. That wasn't good enough. They had to work hard at this relationship. They had to prove that they were both committed to the relationship. They had to prove it to each other and to themselves. Well, last time I said, when I was talking about our relationship with the world, with existence, that we need to be open. That's a nice neutral word, isn't it? Open, be open. You can't simply be open. Being open cannot happen without love. Being open is love in practice. Not love as some nice idea, with some gooey sentimentality. When I said in the first monologue, blow yourself open to the moment, it's a nice little sound bite, but what that actually means is to give yourself up to love. You can only truly love when you feel that you've got nothing to protect. But most of us have got something to protect. We've got to protect our beliefs. And like I suggested last time, there's more to this thing about belief than meets the eye. Our belief isn't just a statement about whether you believe in God or not. You know, it's this idea that we've got a choice about whether we can believe in God or not. It's really the supreme arrogance. Right, I'll have a little argument to myself. These are the reasons to believe in God. These are the reasons not to believe in God. I'll weigh them all up, and then I'll just put a blindfold on and stick a pin in whichever one suits. Come on. You really think you've got a choice in the matter? Anyway, I don't really want to talk about that right now. That's what we normally mean by belief. It's an incredibly crude thing. Belief is far more subtle than that. We all operate according to beliefs. Belief is what our understanding of reality is based on. It's what our conventional reality is based on. Our conventional reality says, I am here, you are there, I am here, and there's the world, and I'm walking around inside the world. That's a belief. That's the underpinning of conventional reality. There's actually no basis for that belief. It probably sounds quite nonsensical for me to say such a thing. Of course there's a world out there. Of course I'm a little entity wandering around inside it. That's the belief. It's your belief, perhaps. There's certainly nothing obvious about it. Let's have a look at this thing about what's obvious and what's not obvious. In the late 60s, a little book by Douglas Harding was published. It was called On Having No Head. It's an engaging title. The subtitle was even more engaging. It was called Zen and the Rediscovery of the Obvious. The rediscovery of the obvious. In other words, the obvious seems to become obscured. It's obscured by beliefs. Beliefs about the world, about ourselves in relationship to that world. We're coming back to that relationship again, aren't we? Anyway, let's get back to Douglas Harding's book. You don't actually have to read it, because the title says it all. On Having No Head. He's not being metaphorical here. It's not just a clever title, though it is extremely clever. That's actually what it's about. Well, he says something different in a later essay called On Having a Head. I'll maybe talk about that another time. On having no head is exactly what he means. You're looking at me and you think, well, there's Bill, he's sitting there, he's got a head on his shoulders. I'm sitting here looking at my video camera. I can see the little screen and I can see the same as you're seeing. Yep, there's a little guy and a little screen and he's got a head on a pair of shoulders. But that's what it looks like from out there. From where I am right here, I'm not talking about what I'm seeing out there, I'm talking about the view from here. Well, I don't see this head. I see a few things floating around. My spectacles, I suppose. And a little fleshy cloud around here.